Photostory is an application that you can use to quickly and easily turn your massive photos into an easy-to-view video. When you first launch Photostory, you'll be greeted with this screen. By default, Begin a New Story is selected. To get to work, start by clicking on Import Pictures. Navigate to where your photos are kept, and select as many as you like. You can do this by clicking and dragging a box over multiple pictures, or clicking one and using Control-click to select multiple images. Once your pictures have been imported, it's time to get to work. For starters, let's reorganize them the way we'd like them. We can do this by clicking on a picture and dragging it to where we want it in line, or clicking on it and then clicking on these arrows at the end. We can also delete pictures by selecting them and clicking delete. We can do automatic fixes to the photos as well. We can do color level correction, red eyes, and rotations. Or to do more advanced edits, click the Edit button. From here, we can rotate, and we can crop images. Cropping means to take an image and select only part of it. Note that the box stays the same shape to keep the aspect ratio correct. Let's make it just this size. We can also correct contrast, color levels, and red eye. In this picture, you really can't see a difference. We'll save our edits so far. We can see that in an image such as the flower, correcting the color levels makes a big difference. We'll leave it like that for artistic effect. In the Add Effects tab, we can turn on things like black and white, chalk charcoal, colored pencil sketch, washed out, sepia, and other effects. You can also choose to apply the same effect to all photos in your story. We'll leave ours unique and individual. We can now click through and see the beginnings of our slideshow taking place. Let's move to the next part. This step is optional. You can add titles to your pictures by clicking on the box and then typing your title. Using this cluster of buttons, you can choose where the lines on the page, and this cluster, you can change the height. We'll put it at the bottom left-hand side. Clicking on the Format button, we can change the font type, the font style, the size, and the color. And again, you can see we can change the effect of the picture. If you want to get really fancy with your transitions in your pictures, from the narration screen, click Customize Motion. In the window that opens up, you can specify the starting and the ending zoom positions on your photos. You can also change the time that the picture is on screen. From the Transition tab, you can change the way that the photos go from one to the other. If you've ever used Movie Maker, this should be familiar to you. Next comes the narrating step. Here we can add notes of things to remind ourselves. And we can do this for all of the pictures in our photo story. After we finish with that, we can go back to the beginning and click the Narrate button. Here, we can narrate our story. Jellyfish are taking over the world. After you finish narrating, click Next. Here, you can add your own music in, or Photostory can create music for you. Start by clicking on Create Music, and then select the genre you would like. We'll pick soundtrack, with a suspense. Let's pick Contemporary Orchestra, with a slow tempo and normal intensity. From here, we can see what it's going to sound like. Not quite what I was going for. Let's try something different. Let's try adventure. Closer. Let's try for a higher intensity. Sounds pretty good to me. Click OK. Let's turn it down some though, so it doesn't drown me out. From here, we can click Preview to see what our video's like. Once finished, click Next. From here, you can choose how to save your file and how to export it. Let's click Send an email. Clicking Next will begin to export the video to your My Videos folder. After your video has exported, you can then email it or upload it to YouTube, just like you would any other file or video. You should now be able to efficiently and effectively use Photostory.